Actually, a couple things. First, I just noticed Mother Jones put out a video on Hasan Piker talking about Charlie Kirk, dangerous rhetoric, radical power of empathy. I
It's
wanted to watch
very
this.
clear that they're using this as a Reichstag fire moment. Very clearly using this
Once if you've seen this, two if you didn't
as
see
an
this.
opportunity to further persecute and prosecute political dissidents.
Okay, cool, because I haven't seen it either. It said he was set to debate Charlie Kirk, and then the unthinkable happened. Mother Jones spoke with Piker 48 hours after Kirk's death.
Yeah, I was pretty distraught after watching the horrifying incident. It's obviously a little different when you watch someone that you've known for many years, someone that you have been ideologically opposed to, but like sat across from on multiple occasions, and someone who we were supposed to debate 2 weeks from now. When you see someone like that get shot, it's like it's very different. I don't think human beings are supposed to see that. It's definitely horrifying. So I don't even know what his family feels like. I don't even want to think about that. But it was a traumatic incident that I think unfortunately is all too common in this country, because that experience for me is new, but it's not new for many Americans who have experienced that when they are the unfortunate victims of sending their children to school where a school shooting takes place, right? And Charlie Kirk's assassination also happened at a school, and it happened to be the 46th school shooting of the year so far, and the 47th took place in Colorado only an hour after, where two people were shot and two kids were shot and critically injured. So like I said, it's not something that people are supposed to experience, but unfortunately that experience is all too common in a country like ours. My worldview is empathy first politics. And I think Charlie Kirk said it best when he said that empathy is a made up concept that he thinks is
That empathy is a sin.
Problematic.
And this is why I've said multiple times on social media, to my friends, on stream, everywhere, that as long as you are a radical empath and you put empathy before everything else, you can engage with politics. In my opinion, that is the only requirement. That is the only real requirement for good analysis on politics. That so long as you are brave enough to commit the crime of being empathetic, you can have a better worldview than like 99% of other people on this planet.
He thinks it's just a made up concept that that people have designed to advance like a leftist agenda, something along those lines. So I think like that dichotomy perfectly demonstrates the way we view the world. I mean, they've already started doing that. I think Donald Trump, his first statement immediately after Charlie Kirk's untimely demise was to, without even profiling the shooter, without even having an accurate suspect, Trump and the majority of right-wing influencers, including right-wing politicians, went on this mission. They were like, this was done by radical leftist extremism, and it must be destroyed. And the State Department has already made an announcement saying that they are going to look at people's profiles at the point of entry into the country to see if they actually sufficiently grieved Charlie Kirk, which is, of course, a violation of the First Amendment, regardless of whether I personally think that's like inappropriate or not. I think this is not a value judgment. I'm just simply talking about how ridiculous it is to make this kind of enforcement a priority, and how unconstitutional it is. And it's very clear that they're using this as a Reichstag fire moment, very clearly using this as an opportunity to further persecute and prosecute political dissidents. I think it's dangerous. I think it's dangerous and maybe even part delusional. I always say that right-wing politics, conservatism.
The question was, how do you think the media has portrayed Kirk's legacy so far?
More often than not, revolves around hallucinating an alternative reality just to get mad at said reality, and then endlessly getting mad at that reality. It's always born out of like a collective hysteria, right? And I think it's also delusional to look at that, to look at growing anger and resentment in this country, and just simply say, well, some of the more extremist figureheads, especially if they have mass appeal.
You're actually a delusional idiot. He was terminally ill, has become extreme from an online community. Kirk's blood is on your hands with Hasan. Stop flipping the script. You both called for violence before disgusting people. You're talking about the clip where I said they should make Eve from Stellar Blade's boobs bigger. You are a deeply unserious person. You are a deeply, deeply unserious person. You mean the clip where Asmongold literally said, okay, it was obviously a joke. You are actually a deeply unserious person. Anyone who tells you that I have made a serious threat and I've called for violence is an unbelievably deeply unserious person.
Are simply young activists that wanted to have.
Also, these people love to be like terrorist supporters, but they can't ever find a single clip of me supporting terrorism. It's clips of me saying, I think genocide is bad and I think Israel's conducting a genocide. And they're like, well, you did rape denial. And then it's a clip of me saying, yeah, I believe that rape happened on October 7th. Like, they're so unserious. Like, they're literally so unserious. And that's why they always go post to, well, your fans actually. So no clips then? No bitches, no life, no friends, no family, and no clips. Pick a struggle, bro. Pick one. Pick one struggle, dude. Pick one.
Of discourse that wanted
Elon
to
Musk is currently doing a live interview with Tommy Robinson at his far-right London rally. Dude.
Have spirited debate. It's very obvious that the Steven Crowders of the world and the Ben Shapiros of the world, and even Charlie Kirk as well, was not actually invested in the Socratic method, in applying like the Socratic method, or having like a real back and forth where they arrive at a truth, but they were just simply using this or SJW owned compilations, easy slam dunks against hysterical college freshmen to make their side seem more appealing, seem stronger. It was entertainment. It was political entertainment for the most part. And yet, for some weird reason, I think aesthetic fetishists and civility fetishists, more often than not, these are liberals.
Dude, I love to see this. I love to see the UK becoming as racist as possible. So good. Tommy Robinson's anti-immigration rally live. Love to see that.
Look to that and think, well, this is how polite discourse is supposed to happen. Now, of course, political violence is abhorrent. All violence is abhorrent. Having said that, I think we must be honest about the role that Charlie Kirk played. Especially liberals must be honest about the role that Charlie Kirk played. And I find it very damaging that the first interaction that many older liberals and many older Americans are going to have with Charlie Kirk is going to be from these reputable institutions, a completely whitewashed perspective without actually accurately reflecting on his political output. As a political actor, Charlie Kirk was a very successful political actor. He believed and stood by his principles and stood by his opinions, no matter how extreme I found them, no matter how distasteful or morally repugnant I found them. He advocated for those positions. And I think it's a dishonest assessment to refuse to reckon with some of those opinions that he was very proud of. I think it's also a disservice to your audience if you don't actually reveal what his positions were, and then allow your audience to make up their minds for themselves on whether or not this person was simply a moderate voice and a champion of truth and justice, or if they were a very apt, very successful conservative firebrand and an agent provocateur of the highest order who
Which, like, he absolutely was. Charlie Kirk absolutely was. It's so disgusting seeing, like, the whitewashing on every single fucking right-wing media outlet. It's just so gross. To the chatter who said anti-immigration equals racism, question mark. Okay, I'm going to be really nice about this because maybe you're just, like, new to the political sphere and you're getting involved. So I'm going to be really polite with you and for you. You have to understand that every single person who champions being anti-immigration is using anti-immigration as a dog whistle. If you don't know what dog whistles are, that's fine. I'm happy to explain it. It's packaging your opinions and your principles and your politics in something that might seem unalarming to most people, when in reality, all you're doing is signaling to all the extremists what you actually believe in. This is someone, when we talk about Tommy Robinson's fucking anti-immigration protest, we're talking about a deeply disgusting person who is currently, Robinson is currently serving a 18-month jail sentence for contempt of court, a charge stemming from a libelous video in which he falsely claimed a refugee teenager was a violent thug. When people talk about anti-immigration being really important, and the reality is that they're just very racist people, that tells you everything that you need to know. Unless you're unbelievably, or this is a different time, sorry, unless you are a deeply, deeply naive person. But this is still a good example of someone who's engaging in anti-immigration rhetoric. Meanwhile, Dropsite has an update on the shooter. Are you serious? Wait.
Was one of Donald Trump's most beloved advisors by the end of his by the end of his life. I think it's all content and propaganda, down to what I do as well. I think I use propaganda in the old term, not as a neutral term for the most part. I mean, there are instances where I use it in a negative term for sure, because it can be biased and it can be manipulated. It can be lied.
By the way, even MSNBC and CNN are whitewashing Charlie Kirk. MSNBC fired a contributor for objectively describing who Charlie Kirk was. Amazing. Jesse Waters can keep his job while supporting going after the left. That's incredible.
But propaganda is just PR, marketing, and advocacy. And that's precisely what Charlie Kirk was doing. And that's, in many respects, what I do, right? Debates are one part of that. The reason why I think debates can be constructive and instructive is because there's always a 20% in the margins in the middle that can go in either direction. And I think there are plenty of people who look to debates, that back and forth, to perhaps for the first time ever actually see the opposing side and their arguments and their talking points in the most honest way they possibly can. And that's the reason why I think debates can still be useful overall. And that's precisely the reason why I was willing.
Wait, I'm taking a quick pause from this. Oh, really quickly, just to respond to this person. Don't you think it's a bit of a reach calling everyone who votes for anti-immigration racist? The reality is it's either they're dishonest actors or they're people that have been fooled and tricked into thinking that it's not a racist policy. It's sort of like anti-vaxxers. You're either someone who got vaccinated and is telling everybody else to not get vaccinated because you're getting paid money by Fox News to spread a political message about vaccines causing autism so that Donald Trump can win one more election. Or you're an idiot who fell for that messaging and have chosen to not get vaccinated, and now your kid died of measles. It's the same thing that's happening here. It's either you're someone who knows immigration isn't the problem in this country, that undocumented migrants cause a significantly, like half the crimes that documented immigrants commit and that citizens commit. I know, shocking, common sense. Just think about it for a second. If you're an immigrant without your papers, you're probably not going to want to get in trouble with the authorities because then they're going to deport you. Immigration is not the problem in this country. We have a lot of problems in this country, and it's not immigration. Immigration is what keeps our grocery prices low. Immigration is what keeps our construction low. Immigration is like the backbone of this country. Isn't it also significant less than half? The last thing I saw was that it was like either half or less than half. And so you're either pushing that narrative knowing that your narrative is wrong and it's false, and kicking out a bunch of immigrants isn't actually going to fix the economy and it's actually going to fix the crime in this country, or you're an idiot who fell for that because you want desperately to cling to this idea that immigration is the reason why your problems are real and why your problems exist. He's also directly responsible for the death of children around the world through vaccine fear mongering. I mean, yeah. Do you think someone can be anti-immigration and see foreigners as equals? No. If you think foreigners cause your problems and you're against that, how can you ever think that they're equal? No. And if your argument is, well, some countries have ethno-states and they do really well, I'm sorry that you fell for that. I'm not saying that this is your argument, but if you have been one of the people that's fallen for this argument, I don't know how to tell you this. It's nonsensical. It's a nonsensical argument. I have irrefutable evidence that the statement from The Guardian about the shooter's friend saying it was leftist was 100% fabricated. How can I disperse this to you? Can you help? I already talked about this earlier on stream. Okay. Moving on. I wanted to see really quickly this a piece from Dropsite on their Instagram. They just posted it 20 minutes ago.
The Kirk assassin, Tyler Robinson, a 22-year-old from Utah. And a lot of it was coming out this morning as we were live on the Breaking Point stream. And I realized that, wow, I'm out of my depth on this question. So I could really use some Zoomers to help me out here. What is this game, Far Cry 6? What is Helldivers 2?
So I did see Bella Ciao is something that is set in Far Cry. I never played the Far Cry game, so I've not commented on that because I just don't know. But dude, don't say what is Notice's bulge, OO.
Like, what can we divine from any of this? At one point he says, "Hey, fascist, catch," on one of the shell casings, which seems pretty clearly to be some type of Antifa thing. But then if it's actually some type of,
it's just an irony poisoned perspective on the world established from Helldivers. Now, Helldivers is a lot like Starship Troopers, where a lot of the people who play the game think that they're the good guys, even though consistently the game tells you that you're the bad guys. You are absolutely the bad guys in Helldivers 2. You are going to these other colonies, attacking these random alien species and trying to obtain resources for yourself, right? Like, currently, I think the game is like, there are these like monthly missions or like story progressions where new things start happening. And you're like, we're trying to farm the Terminids for essentially oil. Mike was telling me about this because Mike's been playing the game longer than I have. And it's like, we have element 710. And if you put 710 on like a calculator, on like whatever, and you flip it around backwards, it's oil. And they're like, and we've noticed that the Terminids create an interesting element, which we are calling 711. So we get oil too. Basically, you're like, we're literally farming the bugs. Like, we're not trying to kill the bugs. We're trying to farm the bugs for oil. And like the automatons are like canonically socialist or like communist or something. And we're basically just trying to like enslave the bots. Like, the game is it's very heavy-handed with the idea that like we're gonna fight the fascists. We're the ones fighting the fascists. Meanwhile, they are like, you are the fascists. The Helldivers are the fascists. It's very, very Starship Troopers. It's hard to miss. If you like, I get that there are some people that play games and don't look at the lore at all. In which case, I forgive you. I love you. I have also played MMOs where halfway through the MMO, I'm like, what the fuck is happening in this story? I was like speedrunning Last Epoch, in the middle of it, like some snake lady is talking about some device to travel in time. I'm like, there are like a couple unskippable cutscenes, and I'm like, asking my friends, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? They're like, I don't fucking know. It's like, who the fuck is this? I don't even know what the fuck is happening. But there are other games that I really love the story, and definitely Helldivers 2 for me. I really love the story. I love the game. I love the universe. But anywho, so it's hard to tell whether or not the shooter knew that Helldivers 2 was making fun of fascists, or that he didn't know that it was making fun of fascists. So he's like, he thinks that he's one of the good guys calling down a stratagem on one of the fascists. Or he's like making this like irony, like 10 level deep irony joke that they're the fascist and also he's the fascist and also both of them are fascist. It like doesn't, the thing is, it's like post irony. It doesn't have to make sense. It just has to be funny. Like that was the shooter's goal. That's why he put a bunch of other insane messages on the on the casings.
Of a line from Helldivers, and it's just that this guy is a kind of irony-pilled,
what did I just say?
Online 22-year-old who's just a victim of endless brain rot. What are we supposed to even draw from that when it comes to, you know, political implications? So I
pre-watched. It came out 20 minutes ago. You guys have been watching the stream for 2 hours. How could I have pre-watched this? Was the stratagem not for a bomb? Yeah, it was for a 500 kilogram bomb. Did Nick Fuentes not say it was a bomb coming towards them? Yeah, well, that's why a lot of people are speculating that it's a Groiper, because it just doesn't make sense for it to be anyone else of any other political, like, anyone else on the political spectrum.
Genuinely curious about these games, these references. Like, let me know, like, what on earth, what kind of world is this kid living in, and what can we divine from any of that? Thank you.
Oh, apparently this was posted on TikTok yesterday. Okay, I didn't know that. All right, I didn't know that. The thing is, I don't ever go on TikTok, so it makes sense how little sense it makes, which is why logically it must be a Groiper. Yeah. Well, good news. Helldivers stock just went up. I'm buying a copy now. Unfortunately, this has been really great advertising for Helldivers 2, but I did see that the Helldivers 2 subreddit closed down. They privated. They were like, you know, we're good, actually. I feel really bad for the creators of Helldivers 2 because they've had to say on multiple instances, like, guys, the Helldivers are the fascists. We're the fascists. That's the whole part of the game. How are you missing this? How? How are you missing this? What the? Okay. All right. Has there been any discovery on the kids' social? Yeah, so there's two types of being terminally online. There's being terminally online and never posting, and then there's being terminally online and posting a lot. And I will be honest, I've been terminally online for probably my whole life, but I've spent very little time posting. I remember when I went to like my old YouTube channel and I was like, I wonder how many comments I had made. I realized that I spent a lot of my teenage years on the internet. Like, probably more than half of my free time was spent on the internet. When I wasn't sleeping and when I wasn't in school, I was on the internet. At least half, if not more than half, was on the internet. And I had only made one YouTube comment in like 10 years or 5 years or whatever. And it was on a Vocaloid video being like, I love Kaito. So so there's like being terminally online, and then there's being terminally online in a way that everyone can perceive. And I just didn't make a lot of comments or make a lot of posts, but I was terminally online. Like I was sitting there writing. I was reading these like massive Tumblr essays on like Marxism. I was like, wow, that's really interesting. And then I was reading and reading and reading. And I think that's why like TikTok doesn't click for me. It's because like I have Tumblr brain. So when I'm watching a TikTok, I'm like, get to the point. Can't you just put this in subtitles and then put the subtitles on the screen in their entirety? And then I can just read them. It's like, well, that's not a TikTok anymore. That's just you writing some text. That's just a text post. But, okay, continuing. I want to get through this, and then we can go through and look at the, we can look at the New York Times article, the New York Times op-ed that Hasan worked on.
And able to debate Charlie Kirk. And as I have debated many other high-profile political figures on the opposite side. the aisle, all the way from Larry Elder and Ann Coulter down to Charlie Kirk as well. So I'm not saying it's unproductive completely, but I think it's the way that it is designed, the way that the format is designed, the way that people talk about it. I think in neutral terms is different than what is the actual reason for it. Yeah, I think there are many different reasons for
You
this.
stream a lot about Gaza. What does the U.S. reaction to this week's violence say compared to Gaza?
But I mean,
What is this video from? This is from Mother Jones from 17 hours ago.
I'm very close to the situation, and as someone who has talked about the genocide, the ongoing genocide, since someone who's talked about Palestinian emancipation since far before October 7 and has consistently talked about the genocide every single day post October 7. I think seeing someone that you know personally, seeing someone, and I assume for like many Americans, seeing someone that they've seen on television, right, like get assassinated like this is probably a little bit more traumatic because it hits close to home. But the overall reflection on foreign policy decisions that are ultimately incredibly consequential for the lives of millions of Palestinians is oftentimes simply seen as collateral damage. There is a collateralization of human lives when they are seen as an unfortunate byproduct of our endless violence and bloodshed overseas. It has to happen. It sucks and it's sad to see, but it has to happen is like the overall attitude. Obviously, some people recognize how cruel this is and they take action. But I think many others, even naysayers, even people who are critical of the state of Israel, people who are critical of American foreign policy, still see it as something a little bit different than the assassination of a high-profile person. And it's clear to me that they see it differently than the wholesale slaughter of school children as well, because we didn't see flags at half-mast in the aftermath of 45 other school shootings. We didn't see it. Donald Trump didn't even attend the funeral as a symbolic gesture of the Democratic state legislature, the assassination of the Minnesota Democratic state legislature. That was a high-profile political assassination where the far-right shooter had numerous targets. Virtually every single person involved in the Democrat Farmer Labor Party in Minnesota. And yet Republicans either made fun of the incident, even though it was harrowing, it was traumatic, or they decided that the shooter was actually a radical leftist and moved along. And they just never really apologized for it.
I mean, since then, there has at least been an update on The Guardian. Thankfully, I guess. But the damage is kind of already done. Like everyone's already run with this article. And I remember seeing this article yesterday and being like, really? An anonymous source told you that he, from like his high school, told you that he was left wing? And that's all you, and the source is just, trust me, bro? Like, what the fuck? And since then, they've said, oh, it was updated to remove the quotes after the verified source who had attended the high school with Tyler Robinson after the publication said they couldn't accurately remember details of the relationship. But, like, that's been, like, the right-wing media cycle, like, plan. Like, that's been their goal. That's been their strategy, excuse me. I have a screenshot. He's not just remembering Eli. I mean, you can post it in chat. I don't know what the fucking screenshot is, and I don't know how I'm supposed to verify your screenshot from like potentially just like 4chan. You can post it, but like, again, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do with it because I can't verify it. And then I would just be doing what the Guardian's doing, which is source. I don't know. Someone reached out and said this, but they did retract this since then. And they removed the section talking about him being a leftist. And they've since also started trying to retract the Antifa statements and the trans statements. But like their strategy is always just blame the left, blame the left, blame the left. Okay, I'll just say it one more time for you, okay? For like, I know you've written this like 15 times. Just link it, okay? Just link it. Just link it in chat. You don't have to keep saying, I have it, I have it, I have this combo, I have this combo, I have the screenshot, I have the combo, I have the combo, I have the combo. Just link it. Okay, dude? My God. All right. I want to move on to the article really quickly. Oh, not this. Fox News reported this morning saying sources that the shooter lived with a trans person. It's like, what? Exclusive. Oh my God, followed by Marjorie Taylor Greene. Concerning. But I guess Fox News host. Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson lived with his transgender partner, sources tell me. $1.2 million views. I wonder if this gets debunked, will the harm be undone? So we've moved from the shooter is trans to the shooter is Antifa to the shooter is a leftist to, okay, the shooter actually had a trans partner. Okay, anyways, moving on. So people keep linking this in chat, so I'll just get through this now so that people don't have to keep coming in and being like, did you see this? Did you see this? We can go through it just now. I was supposed to debate Charlie Kirk. Here's what I would have said. In less than 2 weeks, I was supposed to debate Charlie Kirk. This is an op-ed from Hasan on the New York Times. The event was scheduled for September 25th at Dartmouth College, and it was meant to be a wide-ranging conversation about American politics focused on the views of young voters. But on Wednesday, tragedy intervened. The entire country now knows the story. Mr. Kirk was fatally shot while speaking at a university campus in Utah. Late Thursday night, an arrest was made in the case. I found out that Mr. Kirk had been killed while I was live streaming to my audience on Twitch, as I do nearly every day, while I'm exposed daily to images of incredible horror, particularly those of the atrocities taking place in Gaza. I was still shocked by the images from Utah. What shocked me wasn't merely the graphic nature of what took place. It was the horror of seeing someone whom I know, not a friend or an ally, but a human being personally that I know and have debated before, fall victim to clearly what seems to be a rising tide of political violence. Even before knowing exactly why Mr. Kirk was killed, I think that there are some disturbing and necessary insights that can be drawn from his horrible death. Ideas that affected the way many of my viewers and many of the people who followed Mr. Kirk see the world. The first of these insights is hardly new. The United States has both very loose gun laws and more violent deaths per capita than any other developed nation in the world. And while shootings occur most anywhere, campuses can be especially deadly. As news broke out that Mr. Kirk was shot at Utah Valley University, there was a near simultaneous tragedy at a high school in small town Colorado, where a 16-year-old shot 2 fellow students. There have been 47 school shootings this year. Why is this not working? Thank you so much. Thank you, Dank Techno. Continuing. Where's the dark reader when you need it? Flashbanged. Where are we? Though it may ultimately prove correct to classify Mr. Kirk's death as a tectonic political murder, the shooting was not itself uncommon or extraordinary. The victim was. The second idea, and that's absolutely correct. I mean, we see literally school shootings every week. Like, it's just so common. Like, people are just over it. I mean, I know personally that I don't even blink when I find out that there was another school shooting, which is not a normal response to a school shooting, by the way. I see another school shooting in the news and I'm like, okay, because I'm just so desensitized to it, because I don't know how many more times we can say, can we get fucking gun control? What the fuck is this? We need to give the teachers guns. What is it? We need to put bunkers in schools. Just put gun control. Just implement any common sense gun control policies, for the love of God. And so, like, continuing, the victim was extraordinary. The second idea is more general and connected to perhaps why these kinds of killings happen in the first place. Violence almost never originates in a vacuum, and the killing of a high-profile political content creator, regardless of why it happened, speaks to a breakdown in our social order. Mr. Kirk was fond of talking about the ways that urban life has decayed in America, particularly in places like his native Chicago area. In fact, his last words included answering a question about the frequency of mass shootings with a question of his own about whether gang violence counted in that discussion. Any answer about civic decline in America also has to include a discussion about the failure of our political and economic establishment to reconcile with social challenges that have touched every place and aspect of American life. Too many examples of the deadly gun violence we see today are, it seems to me, indicative of this decline. I mean, this is unironically just like the longest way to say we need 15-minute cities 10 years ago. We need it so much longer. So much longer. We needed it ages ago. We needed it decades ago. Okay. Continuing. In the 90s or 80s, yeah. Yep. 15 minutes ago, yeah. Any answer? Okay, where are we? Social challenges include rising rents, homelessness, the destruction caused by climate change, titanic levels of inequality, and too many others to name here. Our capitalists' way of life, always accumulating, never evening out, leaves more and more people to deal with these problems on their own. I mean, did you guys see like the most recent demonic shit on fucking Fox News where they said that they literally said we should put the fucking homeless people in the homeless people grinder? I know you guys think I'm being hyperbolic, but I'm barely being hyperbolic. Say what now? 1 second. No shot? Fox News casually suggests that we mass murder homeless people, quote, or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
They have given billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something.
It's crazy that the guy whose name is Brian Kilmeade has the audacity to say that other people need to be given lethal injection. That's fucking insane.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
Hey, Brian, why? Just kill them. Yeah, but the left needs to lower the violent rhetoric. We need to lower the temperature in the room because the left is the violent party. The Democrats are the violent party. Like, anything for the capitalist overlords. Just one more gallon of blood for the capitalist overlords. Just one more. One more. There's nuts in both parties. Dog, show me one thing that a Democrat has said that is even half as crazy as we should start lethal injectioning homeless people. Show me one. I will wait patiently. Show me one. I have you on the other monitor and I'll be waiting. Okay? You want a both sides Gaza? Sure. Sorry, not like both sides the situation in Gaza, but rather say that like both political parties are bad on Gaza. Excuse me, speaking there, poor phrasing. Yeah, I would agree with you. I think the Democrats and the Republicans are equally incapable of doing anything for Gazans. Okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry, involuntary lethal injection. But like, I would just love to see a Democrat say something even half as crazy as, we should run up to the homeless people on the street and kill them. And fucking kill them. Okay. Where were we? Yes. This produces feelings of isolation and resentment as material conditions worse, and considering that our society is swamped by and yet somehow stitched together by a 24/7 news cycle that too often feeds this resentment, it is little wonder that a country of stressed out gun owners would have so many grim, needless gun deaths. This connects to my final idea. Americans inhabit a culture of violence to which we have become habitually desensitized. There's a connection between our culture of violence and American foreign policy. Over time, our culture of violence has targeted people around the world, anywhere from Cuba to Iraq, people who serve as literal targets for American weapons and bombs, absorbing what I think of as Americans' excess capacity for violence. For years now, American politics has taken on an increasingly punitive flavor. During the George W. Bush era, Arabs and Muslims were and remain singled out for suspicion. Their civil rights were routinely violated as we embarked on fresh wars against Arab and Muslim countries, and we regarded lives in those countries as less precious than our own. I mean, we literally have people in Congress talking about... Sorry, I got distracted by a chat message that I will read out in a second. Talking about how they don't care how many Palestinians die. They literally don't care. Best part was that how he didn't want to leave any ambiguity and ended the clip by saying, just kill them. Yeah. Yep. Sorry, this chatter is being really annoying, so it's time to roast them in front of the class. Bruh, she's asking for a link and saying she's waiting for it or not. I can link it. You think you want the link of a Democrat saying that shit or not? Do you want your link now? You just want to stay in your echo chamber so much it's crazy. She asked for a link. I provide it. And you say, oh, y'all want to act like that. I wasn't talking to you, bitch. You're the type of annoying fuckhead that, like, you see two women talking to each other and they're like, I don't know, what do you think? You think I should give him a chance? And you walk up and you're like, I think you're a vapid bitch, and I think you will be loveless forever, and your eggs are gonna dry up. Do you want an opinion or not? I thought you wanted an opinion. It's like, dude, you have no friends for a fucking reason. It's because you're an insufferable asshole, and when people aren't talking to you, you feel like your opinion is still important. I was talking to someone else. I know, crazy, crazy. Crazy to think of that, but I was talking to someone else because someone else was the one who made the comment saying that they're nuts in both parties. Also, the link that you provided is of Hasan with long hair, so you know that the clip is years ago. Second, I know that it's clip chimp because I've watched the entirety of this clip. Third, he's not a Democrat. If he happens to vote for Democratic Socialists like Zohran Mamdani, endorse, that doesn't make him a Democrat. What is he then? He's a socialist, you fucking idiot. He's a socialist. You think the DNC is a socialist org? You're so stupid. You are so fucking dumb. Why would you ask for attention when you know you're going to get fucking roasted? What the fuck is wrong with you? What is actually wrong with you? How much brain damage? How much lead chips are you eating, dude? Please, please. Oh my God, dude. Do not spam in my chat for the dumbest messages on the fucking planet. For the love of God. I already hate spammers, but when you spam with something dumb, it offends me so much. It offends me so much. All right. Whew. We're chill. We're calm. We're vibing. All right. Dude, I love this emo. I love this emote so much. The bye bitch. I want an emote like that so badly.
Denims is definitely top 5.
Thanks for the 10 gift subs. ECAC Bun, thank you for the 10 gifties. Thanks. Doug's, thank you for the 10 months. Decrepit. Jane, thank you guys for the subs. Smoogle, thank you for the prime. Mikey, Tay, thank you for the subs. Mira, Walrus, thank you. Coletti, Birdshot, Life of Cyborg, thank you for the 2 gift subs. Goba, thank you for the prime. Monkman, thank you so much. Also, thanks for the hype train. Thank you. Casey, thank you so much. Some chick.
Sounds hot. Oh, I'm gonna fuck him.
Thank you for the prime. Bloldy, thank you for the prime. Ruxton, Eviolite, Camog, Say, Todd Max, 1 in a million. Thank you guys so much for the prime. Sorry I didn't. Eldritch, that's almost everybody. Bearded 5-year-old, thank you guys so much for the subbies. Thank you guys. Thanks. I couldn't read out yesterday because the TTS is still broken for some bizarre reason. So sorry about that. And there was just so much stuff going on that I didn't have a chance to read through all of it. But thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Surzin, thank you for the gift sub. Anon, thank you for the gift sub. Yigekbun, thank you for the gift sub. Jax, thank you for the prime. And thank you guys all for the support. This channel is with or without my consent, completely ad-free. This is one of the few channels on twitch.tv where you will not receive ads. Ads are a rarity. When and if you do receive ads, I don't know that that's happening. I'm pretty sure currently you just don't receive ads because it is a political channel. There is political coverage on this channel. So
That sounds hot. Oh, I'm gonna fuck him.
this is a totally audience sponsored stream. It is sponsored by Dark Money Chatters. So thank you everybody for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. And it is September right now. So for first time subs, you get a 30% discount. And for subs in advance, you get a 30% discount. So this is currently the best time to sub, whether it's for the first time in your life or for the first time in a long time to sub for multiple months ahead of time. So this is a great time to sub during September, or you can just use your Amazon Prime, which is totally free. And I, again, really appreciate it. Haven't had a sponsor in years. Don't receive any ads. So thank you so much. For Hasan said, if you use the politics tag, just Twitch doesn't play any ads on your channel. Yep. So this stream only gets to exist because of people like you. So I really appreciate all of the support. It means a lot. Thank you guys so much. Have you met Hasan? Can I ask a question? Why do people spell Hasan's name with 2 S's? I don't get that. And yeah, we did some not the hummus tier list. We did it's food stream together. I think it's on his channel. It's or some channel has uploaded it somewhere. I don't have it on. But anywho, Beth, thank you so much for the prime. Shista, thank you for the prime. Bill, thank you for the prime. Voodoo, thank you for the gift sub. Worst Bird, thank you for the 10 gift subs. Thanks. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot. Beth, thank you for the prime. Blossom, thank you for the tier 1. Cyclops, thank you for the 39. Spamfish, thank you for the prime. Dumb username, thank you for the prime. Hudman, thank you for the tier 1. Lawoofi, thank you for the game months. Thanks, guys. Thank you. When I type Hasan on mobile, it corrects the 2 S's if I'm not careful. Monka Giga. Cab Calloway, thank you so much for the 5 gifts up. Jason, thank you for the tier 1. Cassie, thank you for the 7 months. Thank you. Thank you all for the support.
Denims is definitely top 5.
I guess I'm dumb. I mean, I'm not judging you specifically. I'm just I misspell names. I just feel like I see a lot of people spell it with 2 S's, but I feel like that one's, that Hasan with 2 S's, I feel like that one's a more reasonable mistake than when people write Denims. It's I'm a common noun. How? Listen, people who are dyslexic, you get a pass, okay? Obviously. But why do people who aren't dyslexic, why are you writing Demon? I'm a common noun, dude. I exist outside of me. But okay.
Denims is streaming.
Von Ripper, thank you for the 4 months. Thanks. Alrighty. Moving on. Let's continue with the article, shall we? Shaman, thank you for the gift sub. Thank you. 2 Demons. I have dyslexia and even I can type it correctly. Interesting. Interesting. Your appearance on Hasan via your TikTok for those to enjoy. Oh, I didn't even know that. Not me not knowing that. Not me not even knowing that I have a
Denims is
TikTok.
not Turkish. Why does everybody think you're Turkish?
I don't know. It's just one type of brown person.
Yeah.
Oh, you thought that was funny, white girl? Oh, yeah.
That's funny. I saw her. I saw her laugh at that.
Wow. Calls herself an ally, and yet.
No, it's just, there's been so funny because I don't know. They've said it over and over that you're not Turkish. It's just like.
Well, this is the misogynistic community. They don't listen to her.
That's true, actually.
When she says these things.
Yeah.
Why would they? She's a woman.
Based.
Okay.
What is this clip? I don't even remember this. I don't remember even saying this. Oh, God. Not gonna lie, I only know her for sniffing Hasan's chair. What the fuck are you talking about? I would only ever sniff Jenna's chair. The fuck? I think you're thinking of Aiden Ross, who sniffed Andrew Tate's chair. I only simp for women. Fool. Foolish, foolish, foolish. Not you, the red-haired woman? Oh, Jenna did that? Oh. I don't even remember her doing that. Man, long-term memory, dude. Okay. All right. Shall we continue? Let's finish this. Where were we at? Yes. Okay. The Barack Obama years were not so much a correction as a continuity with drone strikes, night raids, and forever wars. What followed in President Trump's first term and in Joe Biden's administration was still more of the same. Extreme rhetoric about designated American enemies combined with aggressive sanctions and secret operations aimed at destabilizing entire countries. A foreign policy organized around punishing and killing our supposedly sworn enemies, diplomacy be damned, conveys the terrible message that we can only kill and maim our way to achieving the world that we want to live in. I fear this is most evident in America's ironclad support for Israel. The genocide in Gaza has claimed tens of thousands of innocent lives. Meanwhile, Israel has carried out brazen assassinations and attempted assassinations in Iran, Qatar, and Lebanon and Yemen. Backed up by Mr. Trump and previously by Mr. Biden, our government's virtually unyielding support for Israel tells a scary story about the country that we live in. It suggests that merely because we designate them as such, American enemies can be marked for death. Whether such rivals pose a legitimate threat, the fire and fury of our military and our allies have clearly become the default answer for how we deal with a world whose interests don't align with our own. Pulling a gun or launching a missile has become part of our national character, a sad reduction of morality to the time it takes for fingers to pull triggers. I mean, what I will say is that the fact that we airstrike bombed, whatever the technical term is, that Venezuelan boat without hesitation is fucking insane. It's so insane that fucking Rand Paul is saying, guys, that's fucking insane. We can't just bomb random boats. It doesn't matter whether it had enough cocaine on that boat to, I don't know, serve every single member in Trump's cabinet for the rest of their lives, which is a lot, which would be a lot. It doesn't matter if there was enough crack on there for Hunter Biden to have a great rest of his life as well. It doesn't matter how many drugs, how much fentanyl. It doesn't matter. You can't just bomb random boats. You can't pick out random boats and be like, oh, well, this belongs to the property of like some random company in Venezuela or like whatever the fuck. And then start bombing shit. Us having a drug death epidemic in our country is not a valid reason to declare war on another country. Drug trafficking is not an act of war. We have that law for a very specific reason. Yeah. You need a cargo ship. They have remote piloted narco subs. They don't use dinghies with 11 people in them. If it had drugs on it, they'd have stopped it. Feds love taking pics with captured drugs before the feds resale it. The other thing, too, that's obscene about it is if you actually just want to solve the drug crisis in America, the fentanyl abuse and the deaths, the fentanyl deaths in this country, there's 100 other methods that are way more efficient, actually solve the problem, and don't cost billions of dollars. Like, going to war with Venezuela will not only not fix the drug problem, it'll just cause a war with Venezuela. But I need that Lockheed Martin stock to go up, 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 up. Buy the dip. Buy the dip. Like, I have in my brain the clip of the guy from Mad Money saying, "We like the stock." This is like... Is this the clip of him saying... No, this is like a 10-minute video. Where's the one of him saying... Is this one up? This is the one, yes. This is fucking Nancy Pelosi anytime we're about to go to war and she invests in Lockheed Martin. We like the stock. We like the stock. We like the stock. Yes, we like the stock. Yes, more war. Let's go. Oh. This kind of goes hard. Wait. Power of the player.
There are a lot of people on this 2 million person subreddit who thought it was very funny. Yes. 2 million people.
I'm sorry. The GameStop shit was objectively very funny. It was pretty funny. Okay, sorry. State mandated intermission. Continuing. Back to Mr. Piker. All right. I would have liked to ask Mr. Kirk about all these things. He and I have identified some of the same problems with our views clashed about their causes and their potential solutions. Americans, especially younger Americans, feel a sense of growing hopelessness, as many of those in power refuse to listen to their struggles, economic or otherwise. One side, Democrats, offers mostly platitudes, while the others, epitomized by Mr. Trump, frequently take advantage of people's resentment and redirect them towards vulnerable communities. Mr. Kirk, an ally of Mr. Trump, was an expert at the latter. I can't wait. I wanted to debate Mr. Kirk, but because of a violent act, now I can't. It was a good piece. It was a good piece. It is really funny that so many people, like, sorry, funny in like a weird, insane way, that so many fucking people think that Hasan or any other left-leaning political commentator would ever be in favor of executing and like assassinating political commentators, as if that isn't a world that negatively impacts all of us. Like, it's just so obscene. Ethan Klein Instagram story in 3, 2, 1. Actually, I don't know if he's posted one or not already. But moving on. A bit cringe to use the Mr. Kirk so many times. It was absolutely a New York Times editorial decision. That's their style. Yeah, I didn't want to comment on the Mr. Trump, Mr. Biden, Mr. Kirk, but I've never even heard Hasan talk that way before. So I'm just going to assume that someone went in and made some adjustments with his consent, I'm sure. And he was like, I guess if you want to.